Namaskar friends, this is NJ, your host on this channel. So guys, it's a Thursday today and the transiting moon is exalted. It is conjunct with Jupiter as well. So I thought we can have our discussion on a very optimistic, motivating kind of topic. Something with the religious and the philosophical and spiritual flavors as well. So I thought we can have our discussion on the topic of the manifestation, and we will try to connect it with our astrological chart. So guys, have you ever pondered this thing that in your life there is one specific area where your life tend to remain in a auto mode? It hardly matters whether you are like putting your efforts in that direction or not, but life is somehow and things are somehow happening on their own. Like the way guys, even if I were to share my own example as well, like no one from my father's side and from my mother's side have ever come to a foreign land or settled in foreign land. Like a good friend of mine, he came in my life during that period of time only when he was trying for foreign land, and he was desperate, he was obsessed with it, and he instilled those thoughts in my mind. He kept on pushing me and he was never able to come there, and I moved here. A lot many times people shared this thing in the consultation with me. Nippon, becoming an artist was never a part of the plan. I somehow come from a family of the doctors, and see what life made me. Some people say that getting married to this person was never a part of the plan, but see, somehow even I'm surprised. How come I'm married to this person? Some people, like, they're like those percentage of people who are obsessed with like having children, and they are not getting that, and they're like those people who never wanted to become parents and all, and they have been blessed with children, like 3 or 4 children. So I mean to say, there is one specific area of life over where our life tend to remain in the auto mode, and that is what we will try to understand, because only if you have understood that code in your life, you can actually make it grow with manifestation, with efforts being put in that direction. And again guys, even for that, understanding it, and first of all understanding that there is some higher power which is calling the shots. We all are just medium. Even the thoughts which comes to our mind needs to be seen as a third person, that that's not me. That thought which is coming to harm, which is getting offended, which is feeling lusty, all of that is not me. That's just my mind which is instilling that. So only if you have that capacity, you can understand and you can reach and elevate to the level of the cosmic intelligence within us. Like the way guys, at that time when I was explaining the Venus's placement in different zodiac sign, I correlated it with the 7 chakras as well. So all of those things which comes to us as a part of our DNA could be connected with the root chakra, with the Muladhara chakra. All the sex and desire, position, that could be somehow attached with the chakra number 2, with the Swadhisthana chakra. With the Manipura, the 3rd chakra, we still are resonating on the level of the energy. But over and above that, the power of the manifestation, and if you actually want to understand the divinity working through us, then you have to elevate to the higher chakras. And that is what a lot of the spiritually aligned people mention this thing, that the power of the cosmic intelligence within us is so powerful that a lot can be manifested. But yes, sacrifice, surrender, and most importantly, surrender to the cosmic intelligence within us becomes very, very important. Like if you are a kind of person who has this mindset, this notion that I am the one who's responsible for everything. I am the one because of whom my whole family is eating food and everything is happening, then you are not the right person or right audience for this subject or for this video. And again guys, like even if you will take the reference from the Bhagavad Gita as well, like there on one side there was Duryodhan with all the warriors on his side, and on one side there was like Arjun, who had completely surrendered himself to the Lord Krishna, and even Lord Krishna who pledged and vowed that I'm not gonna lift any weapon in this war, and see what happened. And I guess that reminds me of this quote from the Osho as well, over where Osho said this very beautiful thing, that it's like the universe or the nature never wants us to be hollow. If we are gonna relinquish or give away the complete control, then the universe and the nature starts taking control of us. So if you're gonna throw a stone in a pond, that means it's gonna create a void space for few milliseconds, and right at that time all the water surrounding in that void space is gonna start filling it. So that means only if we have this capacity to understand that there is some higher force, we are just the medium, and we completely surrender to it, then you will see the magic that things will start happening on its own. So now, after parking this thought, now let's talk about from our astrological chart point of view. So guys, a lot many people have this notion that people think that it's the moon which is responsible for manifestation. Now I completely agree to it, because it's through moon only. Its moon is our subconsciousness. It is our manas, over where all of our impressions, our habits, our likes, our dislike, the way we see the world, perceive the world, all of that is anchored where our moon is placed. But still, moon is fickle. Our desires are changing. We do not know what is good for us or not. But there is one area of your life which never disappoints you, where your life tend to remain in a auto mode. I would say that a soul is born and it is gonna be in that journey. So the day when a child is born and when it's gonna die, during that whole phase, your life journey is somehow connected with your ascendant lord's placement in the chart, and that is one area over where your life is gonna be in a auto mode. Like any prediction of any area of the chart, this could be career 10th house, this could be your fortune, this could be money, this could be relationship. This is one such area which is never gonna disappoint you, and this is one such area where life is gonna be on the auto mode, whether you are working on it or whether you're not working. Even in my case, I gave my reference example as coming to a foreign land. So it's just like that, my ascendant lord is in the 8th house. So it was supposed to take me away from the birthplace. That is the only reason. I had the promise. That's the reason it manifested in my case. You know guys, I was even watching this House of Dragons. The first season I just completed in the last episode. So there is this, everyone in the whole kingdom is fighting for their claim for the throne, and the guy who was made to sit, Aegon, so he never wanted to sit there. He even hid, and he says, okay, please give me some money, put me in a ship, I will never come back. And he was being forced to sit on the throne. So that means there is that part over where you can call it that part of destiny's promise. And that is the only reason, guys, I always say this thing. An astrologer's main job is, when a chart comes to you, you have to first scan the promise. Is someone born with a promise? Because that promise is gonna get delivered. And that is what we say, that when some people say this thing, that why astrologers are by themselves so poor, can't they become rich or wealthy if they're gonna make other people rich and wealthy? It's just like that. This is what I'm born with. This is what my prarabdha, this is what my destiny is. I'm not gonna change my life's promise, right? And what we do as an astrologer in terms of our service to our clients is that we try to show them the path. We guide them that, okay, this is what your destiny's promise is, this is what your strength area is, this is what the running time is indicating. Only if you're gonna put your efforts in this direction, you're gonna find the success. It's as simple as that. So yes guys, now after this we will try to look at that, if I have talked about the life being in the auto mode and something. So based on your ascendant lord's placement in all the houses, how could you correlate it? How could you understand it? Again guys, over here it hardly matters whether, for example, you being a Sagittarius Lagna, your ascendant lord in the 8th house, it is exalted. Or let's say for example, you being a Libra Lagna, your ascendant lord Venus is debilitated in the 12th house. It hardly matters right now at this stage whether your ascendant lord is strengthened, it is weak, it is strong. All what matters is that if wheresoever your ascendant lord is placed, in which way you can find your life being in the auto mode, or what you can do in order to best extract the best results out of it. So guys, for all those cases, if you will find that your ascendant lord is going to be placed in the 1st house, now it is a very very good combination. It simply tells about that a lot of areas of your life are somehow predestined. Now over and above that, if your ascendant lord is going to be placed in the 1st house, if you will find especially planets of the destiny planets of the karmic excess, which is Rahu and Ketu. So someone who's got like ascendant lord being placed in the first house, and your Rahu and Ketu are strengthened in terms of the zodiac sign placement and all, like they are placed in the Mercury signs or the Venus sign or the Saturn sign and all, then you can actually fairly say this thing, that a lot of the things in the life of this person will happen on their own. And I can assure you this thing, I can write it in the blank paper, that whensoever you will try to put your will against the divine will, wheresoever you're gonna be acting with this arrogance that I was the one who did this, if only I'm not gonna be around, the people around me and my family, my job, my business is not gonna flourish, life is gonna give you a jolt. So a lot of the things, somehow it's not an exaggeration to call this thing that your life is somehow predefined. It is like in an auto mode, and the more you're gonna have faith in the higher power and surrender yourself, see yourself only as a medium, the better you will flourish. Now guys, if you will find that your ascendant lord is going to be placed in the second house, so you will find somehow a lot of the matters of your finances, of your family is gonna be in a auto mode, in a way that irrespective of the fact, like right at that time when you wanted to get your daughter married, right at that time when your father was sick, unhealthy, and you needed some money to pay for the treatment and pay for the medical bills and expenses, you did not even realize from where the money got arranged up, from where the money came. Something happened and suddenly the money was there. So a lot many times it has been seen that most of the concerns of your family are somewhat a area over where you will find life to be by itself taking control of it, managing it well. So the more you're gonna be getting stressed on this account, the more you're gonna be putting your will into it in the matters of the second house, you're gonna be doing more damage to yourself. You are gonna be coming on your own way of finding success in the matters of the second house. So all the attributes of whatever and the kind of money which you're gonna have post retirement in your bank account, I can assure you guys, no matter, even if you are right now you are young and you are living life very miserly life, very penny pinching life, oh I need to have that much money in my bank account, everything is pre-written. I can assure you that even if you're gonna have a very lavish extravagant lifestyle, and still somewhat or something will happen, by the time you'll be in your old age retirement, you will have that money in your bank account, because this is what the promise you have. Now it hardly matters whether that ascendant lord in the second house is weak, it's strengthened, or what areas it is. This is what your life's destiny's promise is, and this is one such area where life will automatically take care of you. That is the only reason, guys, a lot many times happen. Sometimes people who have all the addictions and everything, they still stay healthy, and they're like those people without even doing anything, they get sick, they have their problems with the kidney, with the liver, with all the areas in their health and all. So that's what I'm trying to say. Ascendant lord being in the second house, that simply means surrender, and you will find that this is one such area where the nature in itself is taking care of you. It's beautiful, guys, the way life works. I still remember there's this girl I knew, so she has Rohini Nakshatra. In her case, somehow she was so obsessed with a car, no matter whether she is struggling in other areas of the life, but she has to keep her car in an immaculate state, talking about car, researching about car. And there was a stage, she told me that when she couldn't financially afford it, but somehow she was the only one who had that. So I mean to say, whatever comes to you as a promise, like your moon nakshatra, your ascendant lord, these are somehow over where nature takes care of you. Now guys, when we talk about that, your ascendant lord is going to be placed in the third house. So guys, over here, generally what I have seen is that all the attributes of your third house, which could be communication, self-expression, the friends who will come into your life, and you will find that while initiating anything, while connecting people together, sometimes I hear that a lot many times when people say, Nipun, whenever something needs to be done, somehow someone enters my life and this person connects the dot, my work gets done, it gets materialized, and then I'm no more in connection with that person. So whenever at the right times, in order to initiate that thing, I needed to be connected with those right set of people. Somehow people come on their own. I have no idea, I have no rational explanation to give about that. So that is the area over where your ascendant lord, the nature in itself, is taking care of you. So that is one such area where you shall never put your will against the divine will. Like if you feel that okay, you want to start something, you want to start a company or so, and if you are finding intermittent problems over there, so this could be a case that this is not the right time for you, nature does not want that. Or this could be a case, majority of the experiences you're gonna have with the friends or you're gonna have with your younger siblings, just surrender to it, because this is one such area where it is already pre-written, you do not have much of the say. And over here, the more you're gonna relinquish or give away the control, the better you're gonna get benefited and taken care by the attributes of the third house. Now let's say for example, if your ascendant lord is going to be placed in the fourth house. So guys, fourth house ascendant lord is considered as a very good sign. It is a area over where for us to find that security, stability, like a lot many times I come across people like yesterday only I booked this reading. So this lady, she was telling this that now she has moved from India to this foreign country, and she said that getting a like buying a house, constructing a house over here was never a part of the plan. I do not realize when it happened. So this is what I'm trying to say. A lot many times when I come across people who are sick and tired pertaining to the matters of, oh, I'm still living in a rented accommodation, I do not have built my own house yet. This is one such area where you do not have any say. Like universe or divinity is handling it. The more you're gonna give away the control. And I would say this thing that just give this positive commands in the universe that I already have the best house, I had the most luxurious house. Because guys, there is this a very famous story I heard in one of the Osho's quote. So what happened, there was this king. He just in disguise, he went to see that how people are around the kingdom and all, and somehow like his shoe got struck, or it got broken down, or it just got some issue. So there was a local cobbler, shoe cobbler, or the in Hindi I know the word, the mochi and all. So he was there. So he came, he fixed it somehow, and in the meantime, the minister and all, they also came, because they were also there behind the king for his safety and all, but they were also in disguise. So somehow they came and everyone got to know that it's the king. He was just doing an inspection, that there is a law and order everywhere. So then the king was very happy. So he asked him, okay, what do you want? Now that guy is now in dilemma. How much shall I ask? If I'm gonna ask like like $5, $10, then they're gonna say, oh, you do not know how much to ask from a king. If I'm gonna over ask, then they're gonna blame me that, hey, you are a greedy man, this, put him behind the prison and all. So he was just confused, and he said, okay, king, I do not know, okay, you can give me just $1. And then king says, just $1? He says, yeah. So then king got happy. He says, I'm happy with your honesty and integrity. Okay, let me give you this whole province. So I mean to say, sometimes when you give away the control, you relinquish the control, and you cannot even imagine to what extent nature can grant you. All what you can do is that affirmation is very important. A lot of the problems which we are facing in our life, it's the seed of our own negative thought process, self-loathing, which is coming in the way. So I mean to say, especially in the matters of the fourth house, you will find your life to be in an auto mode. And I can assure you guys, anything connected to the matters of the fourth house, always like have high expectation, be very optimistic, give away all the control, and along with that, any of the concerns of career, any of the concerns of like your financial planning, something, this is one such area which is never gonna disappoint you. Now let's say for example, if your ascendant lord is going to be placed in the fifth house. So guys, we know this thing that fifth house is one of the very important house. Now a lot of the people who come to me, who book their consultation, and in their case their major concern is childbirth. And these days guys, the problem is that because people are getting married late, and because of the stress level and something, so a lot many people are finding complication over there. But guys, I always say this thing, this is one such area where acceptance is needed. Why I'm saying this thing? Because I have also seen those charts, because planets have a way of tormenting us. irrespective of you trying and putting your best foot forward, if it is not happening, after a point, acceptance becomes very important, because only if you're gonna create a resistance over there, then these are those people. I still remember there's a family I knew, so they were so desperate, so impatient, they did all those things, and when the kid is born, it is born with some autism related issue. In certain cases, when it happens, either the kid die young, or in the later on in the age, it is responsible for tormenting own parents and all. So what I'm saying is that in this kind of area, you be assured of this thing. If your ascendant lord is in the 5th house, nature and universe is taking care of it. If it is there, if the divinity or the universe wants to give you that, no matter, even if the divine laws have to defy the science, the biological laws, it is gonna make it happen. But your wish and your acceptance, like your wish has to be aligned with the divine wish, that we have completely surrendered. We are gonna be living in that auto mode pertaining to the matters of the 5th house, and whatever is the divine will is gonna be, we're gonna accept it as our will. That's what I'm trying to say. And yes guys, all the matters of education, progeny and spiritual austerity, something, so be assured of this thing, that this is one such area in your life where divine and the divinity is taking control of it. You do not have any say. Whatever you're gonna get over here, it's like you have earned it. It's your own karma which is getting manifesting. It could be amazingly good, it could be responsible for success, or there might be completely denial. So lot many things can be attributed, but never ever put your will against the divine will. That's all what I can say, because this is where your ascendant lord is placed. Now guys, if your ascendant lord is going to be placed in the 6th house, so again guys, over here the matters of the health, the kind of health you enjoy, when we talk about your competitive spirit, the matters of the debt and the credit. Now who says that debt and credit cannot be enjoyed? Like there have been those business families, like there is a generational debt which is there in that family empire and the family business, but so many generations have passed and they all have lived a luxurious life. So I mean to say, and along with that, some people also say that there is some sort of punishment or the dand which comes. So again guys, what matters most is in these kind of alignments, why we are having our discussion on this, not from an astrological lens, from a philosophical, religious and spiritual lens. That sometimes what happens is that you know, when you were being born, God wrote that percentage of the punishment in your life. When that punishment came, you know, God forbid, you were supposed to endure the pain of losing a husband or losing a child or losing a business right in front of your eyes. You just accepted it and you gave it that much of the time when you were going through that phase, but you kept on grinding over it, staying obsessed with it, and then it's like, you know, trying to put your own will against it. Then imagine God have written 12% of punishment or dand or suffering for you. You by yourself made it 40% and then you complain. I remember guys, you can see the poster of that movie in the screen. It's an amazingly Chinese movie I recently saw. So this guy, he's supposed to be a wedding planner, but his business was failing, so he became a funeral planner. So it was a very insightful, very like a family drama, but lot many spiritual insight as well. In one such case, he was being approached by a lady, Asian lady, and just because her newly born kid was prematurely, that kid dies, and she says that I'm gonna mummify it and I'm gonna keep it stored. I'm not gonna give it a proper death ritual and funeral and all. To which that Taoist priest, he later on says this thing, that imagine the human body is like a journey of the soul from one stage, one station to another station. Now that kid is not gonna find the liberation. He's still stuck, his soul is still stuck at the last station. So again, all what I'm saying is that if your ascendant lord is placed in the 6th house, that means this is the house which could be left in an auto mode, over where surrender, acceptance is very much needed, because this is one such area over where you're not gonna have any say. If you are destined to have everyone around you turning your enemy, that's gonna happen. You do not have any control. The more you're gonna put your will, it's just like that the punishment was 12%, you made it 120%. So that means whatever it is, the way it is, accept it and keep sailing, keep moving. Now guys, if you're gonna have your ascendant lord, oh my god, ascendant lord in the 7th house, so that means yes guys, in the matters of the commercial aspiration, all the attributes of the marriage, this is one such area over where divine surrender becomes very important. Like the way guys we say this thing, being an astrologer, doing that from such a long span of time, I always see a pattern. Sometimes even I get the goosebumps. Imagine in a day, randomly I did 3 readings and all the 3 people have Mars in the 5th house and the Mars Dasha. So there is some power which is governing everything. People like me are just a medium. So all what I'm trying to say is that attributes of the marriage, because these are one such areas over where you'll find a lot of the perplexing kind of situation. I already gave this example. There are like those who do not want to have children, and there are like those who are dying for children. There are those who do not want to get married, and there are those who got married and in no time, they never have planned for it. So I mean to say, if your ascendant lord is in the 7th house, your life is gonna be well taken care of in the matters of the 7th house. Like life is gonna be in an auto mode in the matters of the 7th house. The business you will get, the experiences you're gonna have in the business front, the matters of the relationship, the kind of partner you will get, whether you will get or you will not get, what kind of experiences you're gonna have, everything is somehow is already preordained, it's already pre-written. So all what you can do is that acceptance. Only giving the positive commands in the universe will become very, very important, because otherwise there's not much which you can say, because this is one such area when you are supposed to get married at right age, at the right time, the right person will be standing in front of you and you're gonna get married. There's not much which you can do over here. Now guys, let's say for example, oh my god, ascendant lord in the 8th house. Now this is sensitive. So guys, 8th house is a very difficult energy to deal with, because a lot of the things tend to go away from us. Like our free will tend to remain very less, it gets diminished. But again guys, the good part is that 8th house has got a beauty on its own. That means life knows when to give you the transformation. If you are already in a very, let's say, in an abusive relationship, you are in a very suppressing kind of nature of job, so life knows when to bring that transformation, when to magically pull you out of that situation and completely transform the background, completely transform the picture of your life. So that means rather than fighting with it, rather than bickering with it, and again guys, if your ascendant lord is in the 8th house, even in the happier times, do not get attached with it, because with this one strike, it's gonna be transformed. So that means the mool mantra for you is that, and life and the transformation of the life is something which is being taken control by the divine. So complete surrender is important, and the lesson for you is that not getting attached with the happy times and not getting too obsessed or depressed with the sad times. That's all what I can say. And again guys, I always say this thing, 8th house, in out of all the 12 houses, if there is one house which is the house of miracle, I'm using the word miracle, that is the 8th house. People like Osho and all, even if you will pay attention, like when Osho was alive in his ashram, there used to be those days when he used to be in the silence. Like he never used to give any preaching, any kind of satsang and all. Still people from all around the globe, they knew this thing, that if they are going to the Osho ashram in this phase, in this period, he's not gonna give any lecture, he's in silence. They still used to come and sit in front of him in the silence. He was even desirable, needed, even when he was in silence. That was the power. That was the power of subconsciousness which he had, the impact he had. So that's all what I can say for ascendant lord being in the 8th house. Do not get attached with the drama of the life. You are not at all meant for the attachment, because you never know when it's gonna be transformed suddenly. Just enjoy the life, that's all what I can say. If your ascendant lord is gonna be there in the 9th house. So yes guys, this is a good placement in this way that when we talk about the 9th house, this is the house of the divinity. So that means it's like the divine, and the divinity in itself is calling the shots or pulling the reins from behind the scene. So guys, see, these days it becomes like a very fashionable kind of statement. Oh, I'm a vegan. Oh, I'm an atheist and all. Now I do not know, but whatever religion you are born in, staying a little bit religious and becomes important, because 9th house is something over where, see, that part of I give you this thing, right? Like within us as well, if you're gonna do a scan, so there's a percentage over where God has already pre-written thing that this is what your destiny, my child, this is what your prarabdha, this is what your karma which you have to endure. There's nothing which can be done. And then there is a part of the cosmic intelligence which is much bigger than that. So which area you gonna expand, it is all dependent on you. So yes guys, that is all what it comes down to. Which area or which account you gonna get more attached or obsessed with? Are you gonna get obsessed with what is written as a destined thing in your life, or you gonna elevate it, transcend it through taking your consciousness to the higher chakras? Like the way we say, all the suffering, all the carnal desires, everything in the bottom two chakra. But once you start elevating, then you just see the life as a third person. You know that even the thoughts which are coming to you are not your own. I am not this body, I am not this mind. So that's what I'm trying to say. So if your ascendant lord is in the ninth house, religion, or if I were to say in a more precise way, some sort of guide or guru becomes very important for you. Like the way guys we say this thing that the kripa, there is a word which is a Hindi word, I do not know the right translation in English for this word, but kripa, the blessing becomes very important for you in whichever form you can take it. Because guys, if your ascendant lord is in the ninth house, that simply tells about that you have a direct connection with the divinity, with the divine element. So all of us like have some percentage of consciousness within us. It all comes down to in which level we are reverberating. So but if you have got your ascendant lord in the ninth house, you have got easy access to elevate to the higher chakra, to the higher consciousness, or attract those people who are reverberating on the high level. And if someone with that level is gonna be acting as your coach, as your guide, as your guru, a lot of the problems in the life are gonna get diminished. It's one of the blessed placement, and I generally in a lot of my like consultation videos and all, I generally call it as a fortunate birth. So all the attributes of the ninth house are somehow is gonna be in the auto mode. You are like concerned about right now, or at any stage in the past in your life, you were concerned about getting that visa, getting that immigration, your father's health, your higher studies, how you're gonna be supported in the lawsuit related matters. Leave everything, because all of that is already in the auto mode. And the worst which you can do if your ascendant lord is in the ninth house, that whenever like life is putting you in some challenging situation, you start, some people have this habit of cursing their luck. Oh my god, I am born misfortunate. Oh, I am born, there's all the problems in my luck and all, luck never supports me. Never ever say that, because you do not know subconsciously what commands you are giving to the world, to your body. Your body does not know, right? You're just giving those commands to your body. If your ascendant lord is the ninth house, that is the only one thing which you do not have to do, and completely surrender to the divine will. Look for a guru. That will become very important. Now guys, if your ascendant lord is going to be placed in the 10th house, now guys, it will come as a surprise to you. You would not be expecting this from me to say this thing, but never ever worry on the account of your career, because what you are carved out to do in this life, in the world, it's already pre-written. This area in your life is already in the auto mode. Like the way, you know, I would have given this example for the ascendant lord in the 7th house, that when the right age of the marriage will come, you go in a mountain and hide yourself in a cave and put a big stone, big rock in front of that cave. Now let's see how universe is gonna get me married. I'm not gonna do that. The right person at the right time will be still standing there in front of you within that cave. So that's what the attributes and aspect of your career, of your identity, what you're carved out. And let's say for example, if universe and the destiny is repeatedly giving you some sort of indication pertaining to your career development and something, always accept it. Always work on your gut feel and all. That's all what I can say, because this is one such area where life is actually guarding you, life is protecting you, life will never betray you, at least in the matters of your 10th house, because this is what is already written in your destiny, in your fixed prarabdha at a time when you were taking a birth. Now again, over here I'm not talking about that whether you're gonna be very successful in your career, you're gonna become a bureaucrat, politician or something. All what I'm trying to say is that your career is something over where completely give away, relinquish all the control, because life is already in the auto mode. If you're gonna put your hand, put your fingers, like the way it used to happen with me. I was initially, when I started my YouTube channel, like the camera was in the auto mode, and I used to do, because I never knew how to handle the DSLR cameras and all, and my initial videos were fine, and they were like those times I was trying to do some setting, oh let me experiment with this, experiment with that, and some of those videos I'm standing in front and the focus is there behind me, behind that tree. So don't lose out on the focus. Your ascendant lord is in the 10th house. Career, what you are carved to do is already written, and I'm very much sure if your ascendant lord is in the 10th house, whensoever major development would have happened in your career, promotion and something, it would have only happened when you were least expecting it, because it was like a promise that the right stages, okay, I'm writing the destiny like Chitragupta and the higher gods, okay, so give this child at the 2025 the first promotion, 2028 demotion, 2035 he's gonna be the head of the company, CEO. So all of that is already written. So that's what all I can say if your ascendant lord is in the 10th house. Now guys, if your ascendant lord is in the 11th house, so guys, over here surrendering your all the wishes to the divine becomes very important, because 11th house in a way could be a tricky house, because all of our desires, our wishes, what we end up becoming, all of that is the 11th house. And lot many times this is one such area where life plays hide and seek with us, where life actually makes us go restless, because it's our desires only, right? That's what I guess Gautam Buddha mentioned, that the root cause of all the suffering is desire. It's the trishna, desire. So all what matters is, if your ascendant lord is in the 11th house, how much and to what extent you are gonna attain. Again guys, remember this thing, 11th house is the house of accomplishment, praptiya, means how much you gain in this life. It's already pre-written. This is one such area of your life over where life is already in the auto mode, and that is the only reason guys we say this thing, that you will find like there are like lot many people who are like doing their they are out there in the street, on the roads, doing physical job, breaking their back, working like 10 hours, 12 hours, and they're like those people who are just operating and even in those kind of comforting jobs over where they're not even that much qualified or equipped. It's just like that they were at the right time, at the right situation and all, and life is actually treating them well. Everything is coming very easy to them. So all of that is 11th house. 11th house is about the nature of your income, nature of your gains. If your ascendant lord is in the 11th house, the more you're gonna come in the way of it. I'm sure guys, see, this is one such area over where it looks very impractical, that I'm saying that okay, give away the control, do not come in the way, it is gonna happen on its own. It does happen. There have been those many like case studies and success stories over where, like, at a time when you were hard bent on doing something, things did not happen, and when it happened, this could be in terms of marriage, building a house, getting a job, getting a visa, immigration, something. So I mean to say, all of your gains are already pre-written. So do not be stressed, do not be in this comparison with that my neighbor has done this, my brother has done this, that person has done this, I'm still struggling, because all of your gains and everything, all of your significant years of the achievement and the growth is already pre-written. Your life is there in the auto mode. The more you're gonna be putting your wish, and you would not know. Sometimes what happens is that you might be asking for less. You might be just, when astrology works in this way, that when the right dasha will come, if you are entitled and the planetary vibration is promising a car is gonna happen. Now let's say for example, universe might want to give you Range Rover and you're just asking for like a basic Honda or something. So that's where the difference comes. Like when you have your ascendant lord in the 11th house, you do not even know. All what you can do is that giving that affirmation and giving those commands to yourself, to your body, to the universe, that I deserve more, but not coming in the way. And let life take its own toll. Acceptance and faith in the divinity and the higher powers becomes very important. And lastly guys, if your ascendant lord is going to be placed in the 12th house. Now guys, it is a very sensitive alignment. We know this thing, that 12th house is the actual house of sacrifice. So for all the houses, I was still insisting that okay, this area of the life is gonna be in the auto mode. Same is the way if your ascendant lord is gonna be in the 12th house, so that simply means that somehow whatever is gonna be taken away from you is already pre-written over there. You do not have much of the say. Again guys, it hardly matters. Certain things are beyond our control, and that is what we get to know once we see the chart. What kind of karmas with which you are born, what all is gonna be taken away from you. You know, there have been those kind of stories over where, like, you know, people who poisoned out of greed, they killed their daughter-in-law, they harmed someone, and the same person is born in their own family as a sick child, and now the whole family has to pay the same amount of money as the medical expense. So I mean to say, whatever is meant to go in your life, you do not have any say and control over stopping it. So much better, all the expenses, all the exertion, exhaustion of the energy, never complain over there. If you have been like that kind of person that okay, irrespective of putting so much of the hard work and energy, I make so much less money, or it's like, you know, I want to go to foreign land, I'm not able to go there, or my sex life is all screwed up and something. So all the matters of the 12th house is something, your life is in the auto mode. Now again guys, whatever references I'm giving over here, some of the reference examples might come as very good, some might come as a bit hard, so I'm just giving you a reference. Whatever is there is gonna be getting manifested in your life. You do not have much of the say. Life is like in an auto mode in this house. All what you can do is that have faith in the higher powers and surrender it to the divinity. It will take control of it. So yes guys, this is something which I wanted to say as a part of my inputs. For further more updates and notification on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on my Instagram account. Dhanyavad.